Everyone, I'm Carol McNeil. We'll get to that story in a moment, but we begin tonight with tragic breaking news from Abbotsford, British Columbia, where a police officer has been shot and killed in the line of duty. This was the scene in Abbotsford earlier today, captured by a witness about an hour east of Vancouver. Gunfire ringing out between police and an armed suspect. We have our reporter Tina Lovegreen on the scene in Abbotsford tonight. She joins me now live. Tina, police just held a news conference last hour. What did they say?
That's right, Carol. We just heard from Abbotsford Police Chief Bob Rich, who said it all started here behind me at a shopping mall. And he said the call came in as a stolen vehicle. And the caller who called into 911 was so sure that that vehicle was stolen that he'd actually blocked the vehicle. And that's when the suspect, a male, got out of the car and began firing. And now later, when the Abbotsford Police Department arrived on scene, that's when the exchange of gunfire between the suspect and the officer was had. And the officer was injured and taken to hospital with serious life-threatening injuries. And as we know now, he died of those injuries. And now I want to talk about the suspect. What we know is that he is a man in his 60s from Alberta. He is in custody, and he was actually apprehended about a 5-minute walk from here, just down at the intersection. And the police chief describing that takedown as dynamic. And as you showed in that video that we just saw, it was quite a dramatic takedown. And I want you to take a listen to how the police chief describes the officer's response today.
Okay.
And our members did their job. There were officers heroically trying to save the life of our member. There were officers immediately taking control of the scene. There were officers, when they responded to this, they responded in a way that was designed to protect the public. This person was trying to kill people, members of the public, and our officers responded. The officer who gave his life today is a hero. He was protecting this community. He will always be my hero. Thank you very much.
We hear about shootings in the United States. We're also seeing a rise in gun crime in this country as well. But this happened about noon in a busy area of Abbotsford. What are we hearing from witnesses, Tina?
That's right. I mean, it was just before noon, as you mentioned, so people were having lunch. And I spoke to one witness who was having lunch at the sushi restaurant just behind me here. And take a listen to how he describes what unfolded.
And we heard these two loud pops. And being so close to Halloween and everything, I thought maybe it was cherry bombs or something. I didn't think much of it. But the owner of the restaurant was standing by the door, so she opened the door and just turned and had a horrific look on her face. And so I ran to the door and looked outside, and the officer was down and bleeding. And so I just closed the door and locked it and said, call 911. Actually, the other owner of the restaurant said, call 911, and he did so, and that was that.
Now, he and other customers from those stores were under lockdown for some time, and we've seen them kind of slowly throughout the day being released and able to go home after they were questioned by police. Now, we know that no civilians were hurt from what took place today, but of course, still so many questions. We don't know much about the officer that was killed, or about what the motives behind the suspect were, or what actually, why it took place. Carol?
Tina, thank you. Tina Lovegreen reporting from Abbotsford, BC, where a police officer was fatally shot earlier today.